St. Patrick's Day. A little peppermint tea. I am Renee with Real Home Renee. Thanks for joining me today. And if you've been here before, welcome back. If not, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I am a homeschool mom of two precious boys. I am a home gardener. I'm a home decorator. I'm a decorative painter. All the home things, right? If you like those things, I'd appreciate a thumbs up and maybe a subscribe. So today I just thought I would share with you a really nice St. Patrick's Day story. Okay, so it's got a really good ending. Straighten this camera. I am not a videographer, but I'm trying. So here's my story. Picture it. Sophia Petrillo, right? That's how she says it. Picture it. So the date was March 17th, 2020. 1 year ago today. St. Patrick's Day. So the world had just started shutting down because of the pandemic, and our schools had just really shut down. So I was sitting in this spot on our screen porch, and I thought, you know what? I'm gonna do a video just encouraging so I did a Facebook Live encouraging other moms, other parents about homeschooling, because we'd been homeschooling for a year at that point. And so I was in the middle of my Facebook Live doing a little spiel about, you can do this. I know it's gonna be difficult, but you can do this. And I happened to look over, and I look out the window over there, and I see this sweet black furry face looking through the gate on our deck. And I said, and you can hear me say it in the video, I said, there's a dog in my yard. And so I quickly end my Facebook Live, and I walked out into the yard, and there was this beautiful black, she looked like a black lab mix dog in our yard, and she was just running around. And so she ran out to our front yard into the street. So I got my boys and I said, let's go get her, because she probably belongs to somebody. Let's go get her and see if we can find tags. So we did. She was really friendly. She was going up to everybody's door trying to get in. It was a beautiful day. I remember there were so many, all my neighbors were outside. It seemed like everybody was outside. And so she was going in to try to get in everybody's houses. Like, she wanted to go visit everybody. She was so friendly. So I thought, somebody's missing this dog. So we corralled her and got her into our backyard, and we were playing with her for a little bit, and she didn't have any tags on her. She didn't have a leash, or didn't have a collar on, didn't have any tags. So I was like, what are we gonna do? You know, trying to find her owner. So we have a local, I posted on some of the local Facebook groups. I put her picture out there. We have, Nextdoor site. Have you ever been on Nextdoor? So it's like a local neighborhood website, I guess, or blog, or whatever you call it. So I posted it all up and down, and surely I thought someone is gonna respond pretty quickly that their baby's lost and they're trying to find her. And so the boys were playing with her for a while. Didn't hear anything. I called the neighbors that I knew. I texted everyone that I knew. And no one had an answer about where this dog belonged. And so she was with us for many hours, and I kept her on the deck and in the backyard. We realized pretty quickly that she is kind of like an escape artist, and she's a big dog. So I knew we couldn't contain her for a long time in our house. We just didn't have space really for her in the house. And so I was thankful it was a beautiful day. We stayed outside with her. And so she was with us for many, many hours. And I was waiting to hear something back. And I ended up getting some messages back about her that said, hey, she visited us earlier today. So she had been all around the neighborhood. And everybody said, she's such a friendly dog. And so, I said, I've got to find her owner, because I know that owner's probably panicked. Well, by 6 o'clock that evening, we still had not heard anything. And my husband said, we probably need to call animal control. And I really didn't want to do that. But I knew at least she would be safe, and that they could take care of her. We didn't have a space to take care of her. We had 2 older dogs at the time, and it just wouldn't have worked out to have her in our house. And so, you know, I had called some of the other the shelters too, and they had, I don't know if they had closed their doors because of COVID, you know, right around that time, because everything was closing down. But I didn't get any responses. And so I did end up calling animal control, and they came to get her about 8 o'clock that evening, and it was getting dark, and the animal control officer said he really didn't want to take her. But I knew in my heart that I was going to go get her the next day, or, you know, I just needed a place for her to stay temporarily until we could figure something out for her. And I knew there was something special about this dog. So the animal control officer had left. I was brokenhearted, and I go onto our next door site, and I see this response from her owner at the time, who said, my dog got out. I've got to find her again. She got out again. And so I private messaged her, and I gave her my number, and I said, animal control just left. We could probably catch them. Let's get her home. And so I didn't hear anything. And so went to sleep that night. Didn't sleep at all because I was thinking about her. And I knew, I was like, I'm going to go get her. I'm not going to leave her at animal control. So anyway, the next morning I get a call from the owner, and figured out pretty quickly that, you know, I said, oh, I'm so glad she said, I picked her up from the pound, and she was very mad at the dog. And I thought, who's not, you know, I would be petrified and so grateful to have my dog back. So I knew pretty quickly something was going on there. And she admitted to me on the phone that she didn't want the dog. She didn't want to keep the dog. And I said, okay, we will find her a home. I said, can you, she said she keeps escaping from the backyard. I said, can you keep her inside? Can you keep her on a leash? I don't, and she gave me excuses. I said, keep her safe. I will find her a home. We'll find her home. And so I said to her, I said, you can bring her by our house. Just if you can't keep her, you know, bring her by the house, and my boys and I will play with her tomorrow, right? So I just trying to get under I don't know if my husband ever knew that I did that, but so she did. She showed up at our house and dropped this dog off the next day. And so I had this dog. We had to keep her outside. Again, I didn't have a place for her. And it just so happens that my neighbor across the street had seen her the day that she was out, the day that we kind of corralled her, and she said, she'd seen all the messages that I had posted about her, and I said, look, you know, we need to find her a home. And she said, well, I have to tell you, we might be looking to get another dog. And so I got so excited because I knew we couldn't keep her. And I said, this dog is special. I don't know what it is about her, but she is a sweetheart. And I just felt so torn up about this dog that I said, she's got to have a home. We got to find her a home. And so my neighbor says, well, let me talk to my husband and see what he says. If I can, you know, we need to talk things out. And I said, okay, just let me know. So in the meantime, the dog climbed our fence, and we caught her, but she got out. So she is an escape artist, or she was. We figured out very quickly she would escape in a heartbeat. So she really needed some constraints, and she needed some special attention for that. And so, anyway, so my neighbor gets back to me, and she said, I think we're going to try to keep her. So we were scrambling, trying to find a crate big enough for her, trying to find some, you know, some supplies for her so that my neighbor could keep her that evening. And so the owner came to pick her up from my house, and I knew something was going on with the owner. She didn't seem, she didn't have all her facilities with her, if that makes sense. She was scattered. I knew there was something going on. And I didn't want her to leave with the dog, but she did. And I knew where she lived. I knew her house was just a few streets over. So I said, okay. So we figured some things out, and I messaged the owner and I said, I think we've got a home for her. And we went the next day to her house to pick up the dog. And while we were there, so my neighbor and I went to go get the dog. We figured out that there was some substance abuse going on with the owner, it was very, very sad. Young lady, and I don't know her circumstances, but we figured out that's why she wasn't able to take care of the dog. And actually, she was very grateful for us coming to get the dog. It was like it was a weight lifted off of her, because she wasn't a cruel person. She just could not take care of her. And so my neighbor took the dog, and we found out her name is Florence. And so let me tell you what's so special about the dog's name. My neighbor who decided to adopt her is a nurse, and so Florence Nightingale, hello, is a perfect fit, right? So we brought Florence back home into her new home, and so she, immediately took her to the vet and got her checked out, and I'm just so proud to say she's doing so well. And she had so many issues, still does have separation anxiety. She's got, some stuff going on because that dog had been through a lot. She had been through a lot. And so my neighbor and her family has really worked with her to get her to the point where she feels like she's comfortable at home now. And I'm so pleased. So I saw her just a couple days ago walking with Florence, and Florence just looks great. And I'm just so happy that story just turned out to be a really good story. So I thought I would share that with you. Now, to let you know about the owner, I have been in contact with her next door neighbors. I know friends of hers, and I know that she has a support system in place. So before you guys jump on me and say, oh, you didn't help her, I've been following up to make sure that she has a support system there, and from what I can tell, she does. So I didn't feel like it was right for me to step in at that time. I thought what we need to do is take care of the dog, and that's what we did. And so it turned out to be a really good story. And so I don't know if there's a lesson here. I don't know if there is. If there's a lesson here, maybe it's do the hard thing, right? Because we could have done what most of our neighbors did and just let her roam and let her go and figure she'd probably go back to her home. But there was something pulling at me that said, you got to help this dog. And so I knew it wasn't easy. So yeah, when she came, my husband didn't know, but he came home and we had a dog on the back deck. So anyway, it turned out to be a really great story, a really sweet story. And I hope that this has inspired you a little bit. And at the time, a year ago, when things were really starting to shut down, it was a very, very scary world for all of us, and it still kind of is. It was a ray of hope for our family, I know. So I hope that brings some joy and some smile to your faces today. And I want to say thanks for watching, guys. And I hope you'll join me next time. I will see you guys soon. Thanks. Bye.